Jag heter Jesper Berglund. Jag bor i Stockholm i Sverige. Jag arbetar som instruktör inom Global Underwater Explorers.
My name is Jesper Berglund. I come from Stockholm, Sweden. I work as an instructor for Global Underwater Explorers, as a diving instructor. Instructing and teaching diving is about half time for me. I have a company together with my partner Jens Handel. We are making television concepts. It's very, very rewarding to work creatively with television production because we're doing it on a conceptual level, which is really the most creative part of that, I think. I studied theater when I was in high school, and I pursued an acting career after that. I have been an actor on an amateur level, mostly theater, but also some film projects.
The first time I was diving was in the beginning of 2001. I was working in the IT industry back then, and I was in Thailand on vacation. I remember coming to the sea the first time and going beneath the surface and seeing all the amazing beauty down there and just moving effortlessly in 3 dimensions. It just changed my life forever. I remember that I surfaced after the first dive, and I asked my instructor with very big eyes, I asked him, "Do you really do this every day?" And he said, "Yes." At that point I decided that this is what I should do in my life.
So I basically quit my job and I moved to Thailand to become a dive master. From Thailand, I got an offer to start a dive center in Malta. I've always loved teaching, I've always loved to speak in public. I've been doing a lot of drama and stuff like that in my life. So becoming an instructor almost felt as the same thing, really, because it was making people enthusiastic about what I'm enthusiastic about and just sharing my passion for it.
You ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
So it came very natural to me to become an instructor.
Working in completely recreational diving industry, there were so many things that I believed was not working properly. Divers that were trained to the sometimes bare minimum standards wasn't enjoying themselves as much, and too little focus was really put on having these divers expand their capacity and comfort and confidence in the waters. The problems in the recreational diving industry as a whole, I want to really emphasize that these are my personal views. The quality of courses have been steadily declining. Performance requirements are being pushed down to bare minimum. Divers are getting poorly trained, and they themselves become scuba educators fairly quickly without very much experience, offering courses of even lesser quality. It becomes a negative spiral. So for me, even though I was not teaching for GUE at the time, I really made everything I could to expand the courses I'd made and try to really establish a solid foundation of basic skills in these individuals.
Jesper seems to have an extreme passion for teaching open water courses or learn to dive courses. I think his passion to write his own course under the direction of GUE was of huge interest to him.
My first encounter with Global Underwater Explorers was on the internet. I read these texts about divers that were doing things that I thought must be impossible. I so much admired their complete control in the water and focus on really trying to establish a very solid foundation of basic skills. So for me it was very much of, finding my way home immediately.
5th annual GUE conference. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. We got started early in the week with our training council.
Jesper was assigned project leader to the Rec 1 course. He introduced himself on email, and from there we worked throughout the course of a year together. I felt that it'd be a very good project to get involved in. It's something that GUE were talking about for a long time.
The GUE Recreational Diver Level 1 course was announced in 2005, and the first instructors were trained to teach it. But because there were no printed educational materials and no clear vision of the teaching process, The project was suspended until Jesper Byland said that he would like to take charge of it and get a large group of instructors involved. As a result, last year we got what, in my opinion, is a comprehensive curriculum, supported by PowerPoint presentations and printed manuals for both students and teachers.
The workbook for the Recreational 1 course is a book called Beginning with the End in Mind. It was a huge team effort to write this book, and writing took about half a year, and it included myself and Liam Allen from Australia, Jerry Jablonski, Richard Lundgren, Rich Walker, a lot of amazing people. And it was designed by my friend Helen, who have done a fantastic job. We wanted to have something that was a nice read that the student could actually go back to post-training and actually read up on stuff, and just as a refresher. We also wanted it to be a very nice teaching tool in itself, including quick reviews or quizzes and knowledge reviews at the end. Learning how to dive from the beginning is a fairly complex thing, so in order for the students to digest all the information, they need something to rely upon in terms of reading.
The class that we have created, hopefully it'll establish the foundation for new divers who can feel more comfortable in the water, who can be more relaxed, who can be confident in what they're doing, can be aware of their surroundings and their situation, and also be challenging enough so they can see potential growth with themselves.
In November 2008, a new course was added to the GUE training arsenal. The course is designed to teach basic scuba diving skills to recreational divers. Simply put, it's the equivalent of the open water course. However, the GUE Recreational 1 course employs different educational tools and principles to turn a dry land person into a scuba diver. This course is 8 to 10 days long, which is longer than most standard courses in the diving industry. It includes theoretical studies like physics and scuba diving physiology, as well as practical training of skills and rescue techniques, and a review of potential risks and equipment malfunction, teaching students how to resolve these situations. Students should expect to spend a lot of time underwater, practicing the acquired skills in real-life situations. The main focus of this course is not just to teach students how to use scuba diving equipment, but primarily to master buoyancy control, maintain horizontal trim, and above all, work as a team.
Here you can actually move the fins a little bit more towards each other and glide on that. I want you to glide for about 2 seconds.
My name is Gustav Wettervik, and I live in Sweden, in Stockholm. But I grew up actually in the countryside, and a family estate there. I like a cabinet making, also writing and also drawing, and that's what I do.
Natasha, here you are a little bit out of trim and your fin is here, directing the force.
My name is Natasha. I'm from the city of Dnipropetrovsk in the Ukraine. I've been working in an advertising agency called Dar Design for a year and a half now. I started as an advertising manager and recently was promoted to a deputy director.
Very good, Niklas. Here, pause there. Here you can actually...
My name is Niklas Hagen. I live in Hornstull, which is, I think, the absolutely nicest part of Stockholm. It's the Venice of the North, they say. I started getting interested in music quite early, so I guess I just stayed with it. Started playing my first band when I was around 13 years old, and been playing ever since. I play in one rock band, which plays kind of 60s type garage rock, and my solo project is more of a late 60s, early 70s. I hate that question, I never know how to explain my music. This is the album anyway.
These shoulder straps to make sure they have not stretched.
Yeah, I'm here to dive, to do the Recreational Diver Course 1 for GUE.
which is another type of system. So they tried to come out with a system that would actually work for every type of diving. And as such, this system is very, very thoroughly tested.
6 years ago, I did a PADI course in Thailand, but after that I didn't dive anymore. I really enjoyed being submerged in water, but I felt it was very hard to control my buoyancy and stuff like that, so of course it gave me a lot of problems at the same time. So it was hard to just experience the sensation of being underwater because you always had to constantly evade problems.
I can't really say why I chose GUE, because I don't really have any scuba diving experience. But when my friends asked me what diving course I was taking and I said GUE, they said, wow, that's cool.
The beauty of this system is also that you as entry-level divers will be able to dive with the same type of scuba system for the rest of your diving career. You don't have to change anything because everything is built upon the same components.
I took this course because an old friend invited me. My friend has been a diver for a very long time and suggested that I too give this unforgettable sport a try.
The reason I found out about this class is that the instructor Jesper is one of my closest and oldest friends, and he has all the time tried to persuade me to start diving. And he talked so much about writing this course and this book, so after a while I got really interested and I wanted to join this class.
I'm the kind of person, I'm like a cat. I'm a bit suspicious of water, I've always been that. So my first incentive to dive has not been like, I want to get down there and see what is there.
Excellent, Gustav. Gustav, you also have a tendency to drop.
But since I know Jesper since a long time, he's one of my friends. It has been a process of like 3 or 4 years, and in the beginning I said to him, I would never dive, it's not going to happen. But you know, as time goes and I see that you can really get something out of it, I will try to overcome this fear of water. And now it's about time. And I trust him a lot, he's a very good instructor, I think.
Okay, so when sitting down into the water, if these regulators are...
So, if it's going to happen with him.
Through the first one? Yeah, through the first retainer, and then through the second retainer, and then you...
And you want to space them?
The first day was a shock because the water gets everywhere. Your nose, your mouth, your ears.
The first day was really hard because we were diving in dry suits. First of all, I don't remember anything about diving. It was 6 years ago since I even tried breathing through the regulators. So the first day was really hard, and being in dry suits, trying to get immediately into the trim position. But already day 2 we started getting the feel of weightlessness.
I'm sure as I go along, I will probably feel more and more the joy side of diving instead of trying to deal with it.
We're going to have a little video debrief. Please pause just, Helen.
My name is Elena Konstantinou. I come from Stockholm in Sweden. I have a job that I love. I'm a marine biologist, and I've been assisting Jesper for several years now. I'm filming the students for the video debriefings so they can actually see the progressions and where they need to be better.
Very well done, I think. However, you're going to have to improve this even more tomorrow.
It sort of felt natural and good in the water at the time. Then I looked at myself during the debriefing and I was like, no, come on, it can't be me. You know, it's terrible.
I'm totally new to this. This is my first experience ever. I had no idea whatsoever what it's gonna be like.
I've never been diving before. This is my very first experience.
We've been down 3 times today, and I think we're gonna make a 4th time.
I think for these 3 dives that we've done today, we all gained a lot of experience and were able to find some kind of buoyancy anyway, so it was a very nice experience.
There's a lot of things to think about, a lot of tasks, but I feel that each one of those things are slowly clicking and coming into play, so now it feels great.
Now I feel tired and sore in my muscles.
But it is still exciting, so I think I will have the energy left for the 4th dive.
At the end of today, I feel that I'm capable of much more than I thought. Now I understand that one can conquer anything, and that's what I'm doing.
They were a great team and they were so enthusiastic and they have worked so incredibly hard during these 3 days.
Okay, team, gather around here, please. What we're pretty much doing right now is the SMB deployment and valve drill, etc. Okay, so Natalie, you're up. You're our deco leader. Take us home.
For me, everything we do now is just the way things should be, because it's all very clear and easy to understand.
But just try to loop this like this instead. There you go.
I can't even imagine that there could be any other way.
You can let go of the SMB, so just loosen your grip and let this SMB go.
The open water class, it's 8 to 10 days. It's starting with the end in mind. It actually starts with the most important thing in diving, your buoyancy and your trim, and then build on to that.
Raise the arms a little bit, up like this, because if you raise the arms, the rest of your body will follow, right? Raise the arms like this, your shin will go up, and then at the same time extending your legs and daring to go down, you will actually find a completely horizontal trim.
In Global Underwater Explorers, we begin with teaching buoyancy, trim and propulsion before anything else. After that point, we're doing everything neutrally buoyant, meaning that we're training divers in the actual diving situation. We are constantly employing proper team protocols and team formations. We are constantly training divers in the state of neutral buoyancy with a realism that I sense is pretty unique for Global Underwater Explorers.
I remember in the PADI lessons we were standing on our knees practicing gas sharing scenarios, which of course is a lot easier than trying to stay buoyant and stay in trim whilst doing it.
And give the out of gas signal. Now, Gustav, very good. Drop your head down. Now switch to backup. Very good.
It's a very tough course. It's a fast pace, which I like actually. I like challenges, and there's a lot of information, and at the moment perhaps feeling too many things trying to get in place, but it's starting to get there, so in 1 or 2 days I'm gonna know I have it.
Much more advanced, and it's much more safe. It goes a lot deeper into every subject.
First objective is obviously to give an out-of-gas diver a functioning gas source. If we were using other types of system where you hang the regulator, where you have an octopus or safe second hanging on your chest, we don't know for a fact that that regulator is functional since nobody's breathing it.
We were in the water for 5 hours each day, and even 7 hours on a couple of days.
So far for this class, we have done half of it almost exactly now, 5 days out of 10.
10-12 days for such a dangerous sport might even be too little. I think the more time, the better.
But I think with Jesper's thorough way of teaching, it will probably be 11 days.
I just achieved a better trim position and balance, and with that comes a lot of new calmness, and you can start to focus on other parts than just trying to lie there and stabilize, you know.
I would like you to have done this OK signal a little bit earlier, Niklas. You're actually doing it here when the hose is deployed, when she's holding. You want to confirm if that diver is OK when that diver have accepted the gas, all right? That's when you need to ask if this diver is OK. And you, Natasha, cannot answer back until you completely feel that you are OK.
In the GUE lessons now, we have everything we do as a team. And even if we do everything good, when we come up to the surface, if we haven't communicated within the team, we just get angry comments from our teacher, because not being team aware is equal to not having fulfilled your assignment, even though you actually personally did the right thing.
The team aspect for me, I like that a lot with it. It comes natural for me, and I like to have good awareness of what my team are and everything. Yeah, it's great.
The students, I think they are a great team. They are helping each other to enhance and get better. And as a team, they are working as a clockwork. Jesper is really harsh and hard, but the progression is very steep. And it's just a joy to see the students in the water. And I think it's a great group of people, and they are smiling constantly. And I think they're having a lot of fun.
I haven't heard that word since I read Tin.
Jesper is one of the most intense people I've ever known. When he wants to learn something or when he wants to do something, he does it more thoroughly than anyone else that I've seen.
The instructor is a very diverse person. When he's teaching, he's always very focused, tries to predict all situations.
If he likes anything, that's going to drive him into that subject 150%. There's no way back then. And if he doesn't like anything, he will retract from that 150% as well.
I also want you guys, where I've seen that on a couple of occasions, that you tend to lose eye contact, because the eyes are actually one of the most efficient way to see if this gas is properly working. That's why this eye contact is so important. After Natasha is switched over and everything is fine, it's your turn.
I absolutely feel confident. I feel completely safe.
Aggressive scenario. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to approach me. Then I'm going to grab a hold here around your shoulder strap.
I also feel that my own potentials are built up in a very good pace. I think I will be certified because I think I'm doing quite a good job, but that's up to Jesper and the others to decide.
Make sure to look up there and look up there.
If I would be certified, had you asked me 3 days ago, I might have answered, I don't know.
Now it will go, okay? Don't get your fingers inside the hole.
But now I feel, yes, I'm going to definitely get there.
Every day, I feel more and more comfortable in the water. I'm going to keep on diving no matter what.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at one of the S drills today. But I really want you to take a closer look at this and be very proud, because it's a great achievement. And it must have felt much better as well, right? Please say yes. All right.
It really felt fantastic to be lying calmly in the water.
It's an amazing feeling to be able to control your body in a horizontal position, just lying there in the water.
For me, seeing a student that have achieved, something great, or have really conquered some kind of a lack of capacities, is everything for me. That is why I do this. To see in their eyes when they come up from a dive, the pride, the joy, the how excited they are. That is everything for me, and that's why I keep doing this.
After 10 days of torture with all this training, this dive was so amazing. It's impossible to describe in words what it was like.
I was actually amazed by the fact that it felt better to be without Jesper. And I suppose that's a testament that his techniques are working. We were very confident down there, and that's great.
I was thinking all the time, when's the estuary coming? When's the remove inflator hoses? When's the problem coming? There was no problems. It was absolutely amazing. It was the first time I felt the complete weightlessness that I've been longing for since I started this course.
I feel much more satisfied now because I know that I have taught them in something that I truly believe and that is truly efficient and that they are going to enjoy so much. It is amazing to see how far these guys have developed.
I liked it very much. 10 days flew by like one.
This class has given me so much. 25 dives later, I feel like a real diver. I feel I'm in control, and I think I know some about the security measures that you have to take to be inside of the water, deep down, and I'm really, really satisfied with what I've been through.
Every day brought something new, and I really felt that I was learning how to do things.
It's over, and I don't know if to cry or to weep, as a matter of fact. We've done it, and it's a fantastic feeling.
I feel I acquired a certain skill level and can hold myself well in the water.
That has been one of the most fantastic, fun aspects and experiences. The feeling that this team growing together, and now that we did this dive on our own, it just it worked perfectly. We were so confident.
These divers, first of all, have mastered a solid foundation of basic skills.
The diver who comes out of this course are really self-sufficient. They know what to do to dive safely.
There are many very good divers who have been trained by other organizations, but there isn't one unified skills base. And that's what we are primarily trying to create. The difference between divers who have studied the GUE Rec 1 course and divers who have studied most other diving systems, the core difference, I think, will be not just the skill level, but the identical skill set, because our approach at GUE is that no matter which instructor teaches the course, the resulting diver will have exactly the same skills as all the other divers. I haven't seen many open water divers in my life, but these guys that we went diving with today, I have been watching them not only underwater, but before the dive. How they assemble their gear, how they get dressed, how they go into the water, and how they get out. It seems everything they do is somehow very well planned. So it's obvious that they have been training for a very long time, learning how to do this. Watching the guys after they finish the course, I really like their level of qualifications a lot. Of course, they are still not perfect at everything, but in general, I was very impressed with their level of training. They have much less unnecessary movements, involuntary reactions. The way they hold themselves underwater, it's hard to believe it's their first time out on the reef. They're very confident.
I noticed that they communicate a lot underwater. They are very team-oriented. They swim well.
I was impressed by their teamwork and by how much they pay attention to one another, watch out for each other, how they maintain their buoyancy and maintain their trim in the water, and how well they follow the instructions of their guide.
They understand what they're doing. I think they're good divers. And what's really interesting, they're safe for the environment and for new graduates. That's probably the best part.
If I were to meet these guys by chance underwater, I would have thought that these are divers with 40, 50 dives, but definitely not 10 course dives. I liked it.
I've been following this open water courses from the start until the end. I think the course is very thorough, very comprehensive as an introduction to the underwater world, and it's maybe what open water course in general should be.
It's always rewarding for a teacher to be able to see students progress to the next step of their capabilities. But there is nothing more exciting for us as instructors than to see a person transform from a non-diver to a diver.
It was an incredibly intense teaching experience for me. It was the first time ever in the world that the GUE Rec 1 course had been done back-to-back, meaning a full course without no breaks. It was great to see how well the course actually works, and it was pretty challenging for me as an educator because the individuals have very different experience. We had one student, Nitrox for instance, who dived once 6 years ago, so he had a little bit of a notion of what it was like. We have Gustav, who was very scared of water, and there's also Natasha, who was also a little bit afraid of water. And first of all, having these individuals work as a team was one of the key contributing factors to this project going so well.
I was extremely impressed by the final result. The course is very tough. It's really intensive, and I can see how maybe it will not appeal to everyone, to your average, person that becomes a diver during a holiday.
I very often get the question, is it a problem that the course is too long? And I think that we're never going to be the most competitive alternative for resort type of diving. And obviously this course is, since it's 8 to 10 days long or distributed over several weekends, it's going to be an option for the person that is very, very committed and really wants to dive.
These kind of divers that we've seen doing the course this last 2 weeks will be really good divers that are not going to harm the reef, and they're going to hopefully enjoy many years of healthy and very good diving without doing any damage on the way, which is, I would say, pretty unusual today.
I'm very, very pleased with the course, extremely pleased with it. Hard work, yes, but a lot of fun. Now for these guys, they have all the knowledge and capacity that you would want to have in an entry-level diver that can take them very, very far and truly enjoy the underwater world. They have a community of GUE divers out there that would love to dive with them. They could dive with people from any organization. I just hope that they very quickly can jump on the train and find somebody that you can go diving with as soon as possible so that they don't wait too long.
I wake up this morning in this bed and I call you by name. When I say that you never belong, when I do it, you turn around again. I rise and my arm has gone numb with the marks of the sheets in a mess. Well, how can I ever believe that anything could ever be blessed? Walking in circles, I got time out today. No one can catch me while I'm